Well, hi. Hello there. It's been a little bit since we have last spoke. I don't think I've posted a video since the beginning of November. I am, as you can see, in a different location. We have a lot to catch up on. For the 12 people that watch me, I'm filming this as just a sort of chit chat video to catch you guys up on what's been going on, let you know that I am still alive and that I still plan on making content on this channel. I just needed to take a break because I burned out on reading and on life in general. And the last couple months have been real difficult. So I felt like maybe we should talk about it. I moved this weekend. Jesse and I moved into a townhouse, and that has been fun for him and extremely stressful for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was not really doing well the past couple days, but I'm trying to get my spirits up. And one thing that I know will do that is being able to unpack my books and organize them on my bookshelf. So I figured I'm gonna do that, and we can also have a chit chat video while I'm doing that, because I haven't done anything in the office yet. We just figured out a layout yesterday because the room is kind of long this way and it's pretty small. So there's really only two walls that the console and this bookshelf could go on, either this wall or this wall. I originally had them here, and I was thinking our desks could be facing each other in the middle of the room with a rug underneath, because I personally feel like that makes more sense. If it's an office, that feels more intentional, having our desks centered in the room. I would have this as my background back here and for filming videos and stuff, but Jesse prefers for the time being to have our desks up against this wall. So we're side by side right now and having this in kind of both of our backgrounds, trying to be okay with it for right now. Like I said, I think maybe once I just get this space cleaned up, it will feel better, because right now it just feels insane. There's just so much stuff everywhere. But I told him that I will give him this layout and setup. Maybe getting a rug will help it feel a little bit better. But if I'm not down with it for a couple of months from now, we're going to change it to my way and see how that feels. So that's also why I haven't really unpacked anything. I mean, we've only been here this is day 3.5 now. I spent this whole long weekend just unpacking things. But the thing with unpacking is that nothing can ever be fully done. I can't go to one room and fully finish it and then move on to the next room. I've just been bouncing between every room, and it's just been a mess. So I'm finally going to start tackling this room. My goal is to be done with unpacking the whole house by tomorrow, because then I have to go back to work and I would like to feel normal and I live here. Also, this box is empty. I can move this out of here. Also, I reupholstered this stool that I found at Goodwill for $12, and I would like everyone to look at how cute it is. And I got this fabric for free, technically, because it was left over from work, from a job. And I still have more leftover fabric, so I'm probably gonna make a little pillow with it or something. Okay, step number 1, move all this crap out of the way. I'm not organizing anything right now. The only thing that I'm doing is putting books on my bookshelf, because that is a task that I can accomplish without thinking about it and having to spend the mental energy to figure out where things go. I don't have to do that. I can just put my books on my shelf. Oh my gosh. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about burnout, because I really majorly burned out on reading at the end of last year, November, December. So basically the last video that I posted was, I think it was my wrap up for October maybe. And I had a couple of video ideas to film after that. Oh my gosh, I was wondering where these books were. Oh my gosh, I just got so happy. These were all books that were in my storage unit. Oh my gosh. This is so funny that I have this book. I just realized I have 2 copies of The Girl on the Train, because I picked up a copy from a free little library, and this was in my storage unit, so I didn't even know I had this. Lol. That was for a video idea that I never ended up seeing to fruition because it was stupid. And speaking of why I burned out, I had a video idea in November where I was going to read the entirety of the Hunger Games series. I was shopping with my best friend at Target, and they had this really pretty special edition set of the Hunger Games, which you guys probably saw on my shelf in the last video I filmed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never read the Hunger Games before, but I hear obviously great things about it. I want to read it. I should buy it and read it. Why do I keep I have this phone case that does not fit my phone anymore. And so I was like, okay, well, in my mind, I can justify buying this set of books because I'm going to read it for a video, and I'm going to up the ante and read it within a week, because why not? This is the thing. That's like what people do, is they do reading such and such in 1 week or in 10 days or whatever. I was like, I'm going to read all 4 of those books in a week. And then I realized that's definitely not possible. So I was like, oh, I'll read it in 10 days. And I was coming up on a trip, like in the middle of that. Jesse and I were going to go to Washington for a couple days for his job. So I started reading them. I basically spent all of my free time reading those books. I forgot I had this. My best friend painted me this for Christmas last year. This picture of Bruce is so cute. So yeah, I basically spent like every waking hour reading. I was enjoying them, but I don't really remember much of the experience of reading them or like what I read. I think partially because I already knew the plot of the first 2 movies, so thus I knew the plot of the books. Also, it was that thing of like I was trying to finish them within a week, and so I was just reading so fast, not even really thinking about what I was reading or reading very critically, and, you know, feeling like I had to get through it in order to film the video. And like, because I was moving through it so fast, I was barely even filming updates. The updates I was filming sucked, and we went away on this trip and I was still reading the books, still trying to film the updates while we were on this trip. I felt like I wasn't even enjoying half the trip because I was trying to read these books, wasn't even enjoying the books. It was just a terrible, terrible experience. I imported the footage and sat down to edit the video and started watching a couple of clips, and I was like, this sucks so bad. It was just bad. I didn't feel good about any part of that process. I didn't feel good about the reading. I didn't feel good about the filming. I didn't feel good about the editing. These are going to be my to be read. This is my TBR stack, and this is my read stack over here. So because I have to keep them separate, I cannot put, for the most part, I can't put books on my TBR like within my read books. I just can't do it. So yeah, I was having a terrible, terrible time. And that is basically when I just completely burnt out on reading. It was towards the end of November that I finished those books, and I read the first book in the Legendborn series, which I enjoyed. Then I started reading the second book, and I got real bored of it real fast, and then I just stopped. That was at like the beginning of December, like probably around the 4th or 5th, around my birthday, and I basically didn't read another book in December. I didn't finish another book in December until like December 26th or 27th. I think that experience reading the Hunger Games books like totally burned me out on reading and in conjunction with filming videos. So when I realized that video sucked, I was just like, I give up. I had all these plans for Bookmas. I had a whole schedule written out, like all of this content that I wanted to film in like late November, December, and I just, for whatever reason, couldn't bring myself to do it. So I don't know if any of you guys experienced this like winter slump, but I was not doing too hot. I wasn't enjoying reading, and I truly was like, what is there left for me if I'm not enjoying reading? I'm not enjoying really any of my other hobbies that I like to do. I truly have just been doom scrolling on my phone like all of December, and that really, really makes me mad because I hate doing that. It's so dumb. And so it occurred to me that I just, am not well. And I really was sitting there thinking, like, do I not have what it takes to have a book YouTube channel? I started in May of this year, and I told myself that I was going to do it for 1 year. And at the time when I decided that, I had told myself that what am I doing? These are supposed to go over here. I had told myself that I only needed to upload a video once a month as like a no pressure way of being able to do, YouTube on the side, because I do, work a full-time job. So I don't have like tons of free time to be reading all the time, but I do try to read every day. And I feel like, I read over 60 books last year. So I definitely feel like I read enough to be able to contribute to the online book sphere in terms of opinions and, just general book content and whatnot. But, is that a puppy? Oh my gosh, you can't get in here, can you? Hold on. You're not going to want to come in here though, because there's nowhere for you to lie down. Come here. Oh, say hi. Mr. Brucey's got some really dry skin. We had to go to the 24-hour vet this morning because he's been itching his eye and it was looking a little wet and swollen last couple days. Turns out he's just itchy. So we got you some $30 shampoo. We're going to see if that works. So Sorry, this is really all over the place. But as I quickly like started making videos, I had lots of ideas, things that I thought were really fun. Like a couple months in, I established a posting schedule of every 2 weeks because I thought that would be pretty manageable. And then of course, I got to the point where I was reading so much and constantly thinking about the next video idea. It started to become what I feel like a lot of people in the YouTube space struggle with, which is I was seeing my like reading life in terms of content and not really much else. I wasn't actually really enjoying reading anything. And I was starting to come up with video ideas that were just super lackluster. The whole reason I started my YouTube channel is because I had one really good video idea, which was my boyfriend picks my books videos. And I planned that video down to like the shot. I had a shot list, I had a script written, I had so much. And that really is what made it feel so fun to make that video, because I saw in my head what it was before the conception of the video. And as I went on, I really started to think about video ideas in terms of what's going to be popular. What are people going to click on? What are people going to want to watch? I was starting to try to think of video ideas that just were not really that inspiring to me personally. And this is not a diss on people that do this, because I do enjoy consuming this type of content. But videos like seeing how many books I can read in 24 hours or like challenge style videos like that, I was feeling like that's kind of the direction I needed to go, because I needed to get people to click on my videos. And it turns out that I really don't need to do that. What I need to do is what is fun for me. And I'm kind of struggling with understanding that, where that line is, I guess. And I know that, you know, I'm not like a seasoned YouTuber or anything. I'm not even a YouTuber. I just make videos that I post on the internet sometimes. But I do feel like I just realized that this is not mounted into the wall. So I'm gonna have to wait to decorate the rest of it until Jesse gets home. Well, this isn't very exciting. I guess I'll just talk to you. Here we go. I got one more box. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I don't know how somebody moved this even into this house. Oh my gosh. So yeah, then I started having a crisis of like, am I even qualified to be doing this? Obviously, like anybody's qualified to post whatever they want on the internet, but do I actually have anything relevant to say? Do people care what I have to say? And the answer is ultimately probably not, or probably, it just depends on how you look at it. I was having a real crisis. Like, am I even cut out to do this? I have ADD, as you guys know, and so I also struggle with the reward I get for doing things. As much as I really enjoyed coming up with ideas that really resonated with me, and then executing them and posting them and, you know, getting some comments, it's hard when nobody really watches your videos. And I know that the point is not to do YouTube, you know, in the interest of gaining subscribers. I'm somebody that kind of thrives on like conversation with people. And so the whole point of me making the book videos, aside from enjoying actually doing the process, is that I wanted to be able to connect with people online who share the same opinions that I do about books and like share my book joy. So it felt a little disheartening to post for like 6 months and not really gain any serious traction. But I understand that, you know, it's like that Minecraft meme, you always stop right before you're about to find the diamonds. And so there's a lot going on up here, basically, is what I am trying to say. And I've really just been struggling with where my passion is and what I want to spend my time doing. And I want this channel to have meaning for me. I want it to be interesting. And I also don't want it to be full of pressure like it has been for the last couple months. So I think I've decided to change my expectation of myself and my posting schedule. My goal, at least, is to only post a video once a month. And if I post more than that, that's great. But I'm really only going to hold myself to doing it once a month, because I, again, sat here when I was posting videos infrequently and was like, I need to post every 2 weeks, because if I post less often than that, then no one's going to watch me, no one's going to care, no one's going to stick around, because they don't know when I'm going to post again. This is the culprit right here, the Hunger Games series. It is really beautiful though, so I'm not upset that I bought it. And I never even ended up reading the 4th book, because once I got through the trilogy, I was like, I'm done. I'm over this. There were also like other limiting factors, like the Wi-Fi at my parents' house sucked. Oh my gosh, I didn't even say that. I meant to say this at the beginning of the video, but we moved into a townhouse, And previously we were living with my parents in their upstairs because they have the extra room and we were trying to save money. So we lived there for about a year, and that's where I started posting my videos. So I was also limited in the fact that I really could only film upstairs in our bedroom because I didn't want to be like disturbing other people filming around the house. And I could really only film like at certain times. And the Wi-Fi there was horrible. I was trying to upload a video that I filmed and it was going at like 2 megabits per second. And the video was like 6 gigs. Like it would take me hours to download and upload footage. I tried so many workarounds. I bought a new phone. I bought a new iPhone to have more storage because I was like, I'm just gonna start storing all the videos on my phone and then manually transferring them through the cable, but then they were too big to transfer through the cable. I couldn't just upload them over Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi was so slow. I just had so many issues that I just was like, I give up. So I should really mention that in all this because it wasn't really any one reason. It was a multitude of reasons. The Hunger Games reading vlog was just the hair that broke the camel's back. But I'm happy to report that now we live somewhere that has access to Google Fiber. So I should be able to proceed as normal now. So I'm excited about that. It's so funny that I'm noticing a difference in like the colors of the books that I have read versus the colors of all the books that I haven't read. Kind of funny. I'm gonna add 2 more colorful ones to that stack. It's because all the books that I haven't read are all like fantasy books, but I want to read them. Also, my best friend for my birthday, amongst many other things, she got me this book of poetry written by a local poet in Austin. And I'm so excited to read this. I haven't opened it yet, and it even came with a postcard, which I thought was really cool. But I'm really, really excited to read this. I do not read a lot of poetry, but I love poetry. So I'm very excited about this. And she also got me like the coolest gift ever. It's probably in one of those boxes over there. I have to show you guys. Oh, it's right here. Look at this. She bought this on Cherish. This is like actually vintage. It's real brass. It's a book stand, like a book holder. And it's so ornate and beautiful. I am obsessed with it. I've been using it currently just to display like whatever book that I'm reading. But I think I'm gonna put it on the bookshelf and have like a really pretty book displayed. I'm so excited about that because it's just so beautiful. What was I saying? Guys, I don't know. I really want to try to focus on the type of content that I'm filming. I want to really try to also flesh out the ideas that I have because sometimes I do feel like I get a good idea, but then I just immediately start, hit the record button and start going. And I don't know that I actually am fully realizing what it could be, how good it could be if I took the time to develop it more. If I truly had a full month to plan, film, edit, and, post videos, I think that would make a big difference in the output. And who knows, like maybe doing that is what would really get more people to be a part of this community, because they really enjoy the content. So that's my goal this year. I also didn't set any New Year's resolutions this year, which is funny. Last year I set 6 and I actually did keep up with 4 of them. One of them was to start a YouTube channel and maintain it, which I still feel like even though I abandoned it towards the end, I knew I was going to come back. So I feel like I still accomplished that goal, that resolution. But I don't have any this year because I'm not trying to put more pressure on myself than there already is. I'm trying to just be chill. Oh, good. Jesse's home, so he can fix my shelf. I also read this book in December. This is one of the technically 3 books I finished in December. It's funny, I still managed to finish 3 books, but this was one of them, and this book is like 50 pages. But this is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie McKessie. And I picked this book up in a secondhand shop in Chehalis, Washington, the first time we ever visited because I loved the illustration style of the book. Obviously, I was really going through it in December. This book made me cry so hard. I would highly recommend this book to anyone who is just sad or going through a tough time or maybe is feeling a little bit isolated from the world. I feel like all of us could benefit from a little bit more social interaction sometimes, especially me as a very much introverted person. So yeah, highly recommend this book. So good. The floor is crooked, so we have to put shims under the bookshelf before we mount it to the wall.
Good enough.
Yeah, seems good. It's really close to the wall now. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's like 2.5 inches it comes off the wall. There's so many holes in this house that have been patched, and every single one of them have been patched horrible.
I know.
Makes me want to repaint. I want to just repaint the whole house because it's all, and they're all repainted with the wrong sheen. Ay. Gosh, now it's dark outside almost. And all the piles, and some piles are the same piles, 2 piles and the same stuff, and 1 different piles. What am I even saying right now? Okay, this is everything. Okay, focus on the task at hand, just the bookshelf. Let me just start with all the books that I have read. I've only actually read 1 book. I actually really like to stack this. I've been displaying the Divine Rivals duology without their dust jackets because I like the typewriters, but I actually hate the color of the second book. I hate this blue color. I really only like the black. So I might put the dust jacket back on the blue one. And I just don't like this color blue. I find this color blue to be quite offensive to the eye. So I'm gonna stick with the black. So I might display that like that. Where? Yeah, that. I'm gonna put myself that this can look however I want it to look. I built this little miniature book nook. My mom gave this to me for Christmas last year. Oh, also, is anybody watching The Pit? Because Jesse and I just watched the entire first season. I was sick the whole last week of Christmas break, and we binged the entire first season in 3 days. And I am obsessed. I know the second season just started coming out on HBO, but I told him I want to wait for the whole thing to come out. I just want to binge the whole second season because it was so good. I normally don't do medical dramas. I've never watched shows like that before in my life, but something about this show is, like, it's just incredible. I am obsessed. Like, truly so obsessed with that show. Everything about it, I love. I don't understand. Let's go down here.
Where'd you put my book though?
Oh my gosh. Why have 2 books in a duology and they're not the same size? Who the is doing this? Why? Why'd they do that? Ugh, that is so annoying. So leaning. Why am I struggling with this so much? This book would probably actually look good on here. Oops. That's pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I'm there. The only thing that I have left is this little pile of classics right here, and this pile of Ember in the Ashes series and 2 Legendborn books. But I don't think I want those on my shelf here, but I have open shelves on this thing. Ah! Oh my gosh. How many books can I destroy in this video? So I might put those there. That was so much more exhausting and took way longer than I thought it would. That was like 2 hours. This needs to be worked on a little bit, but I think that's the best that we're gonna get for right now. I love my little goats. What's funny is I did all of that and it's still a mess in here, but that's okay. And it's now 6:48 at night, and I'm pretty sure that I started doing this at 4 o'clock, 4:30. But I think I'm gonna be done. Jesse just went to go get food and he'll be back soon. So we're gonna eat that and watch some TV. And hopefully tomorrow I can get everything in order. I feel like tomorrow is gonna be the day where I'm like, I wake up and from like 8 a.m. I'm just going all day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat chit-chatty vlog. It was mostly just me talking in the beginning and then me silently stressing over this at the end. It's definitely not perfect, but it looks good for now and I'm happy with it. So hopefully you guys like it too, because you'll be seeing a lot more of it in the backgrounds of future videos. So I will be back soon. I have no idea when this video is gonna go up.